And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Attacking Third on a playoff Saturday. Wonderful morning. I got my man JP in the building.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
you doing,
yeah.
brother?
Good,
And
man.
my man Pat Bernard, uh, technically behind the glass, I guess we can say that.
Imagine.
First time.
Oh, this is the first time?
Well, yeah, you're learning this side of the ropes.
Well, there you go.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So today, obviously, we have Union back on the field, playoff atmosphere. Where are we at, gentlemen?
Ready. Woke up. I've been waiting for this day. It feels like since January. But we're finally here. It is the playoffs. I know it's tough for a lot of people to get excited for it when you have to wait like 3 weeks since the first round. It's like, how do you stay excited? But guys, it's playoffs. If you put it this way, you have 3 wins away from
Mhm.
hoisting the MLS Cup, which I know a lot of us want. Cincinnati, although they won the Supporter Shield and they know us very well, they are also missing some pieces. And
Mhm.
look, it is the playoffs, and these guys have done this before. So, I mean, guys, get excited.
Yeah,
Come
right, that's what I'm
on.
saying. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Now, let me ask you,
Yeah, man.
what is the biggest piece that they're missing right now?
I mean, obviously, it has to be Matt Miazga, the MLS Defender of the Year this year,
Mhm,
and
right.
he gets that, and it's in the span of like a weird week, I guess, for him. He's like beefing with referees, trying to square up,
So
trying to go
you win the
pass on
award,
them.
and then you're suspended.
Seriously. But no, he gets too much. He gets too many yellow card accumulation. He gets a suspension for this game, and so that's gonna be the big piece for them. He's kind of like their anchor in that back line. They've done a really good job of just being organized defensively. I think a lot of it has to do with Matt Miazga. Their attack's still going to be intact. I mean, they still probably what it looks like to be. So apparently, Don Garber is in Cincinnati for today. They're going to announce something, which I think everyone can kind of assume it's going to be Luciano Costa getting the MVP this year. So, what better way to kind of spoil it all off than beating Cincinnati at their home pitch with Luciano Costa winning the MVP? But no, I mean, Oscar being out is definitely going to be big for Cincinnati, and they don't have a lot of depth at that position. You could see a fullback playing as a center back, and that could be very interesting as well. We could see Elvis Powell or Ray Gaddis, someone we know very well here in Philly. So that's going to be huge, man.
Yeah, and especially because I believe Carranza is back.
Yeah,
and he maybe I think the I think the 3 week break though did us some good. I mean, we were a little banged up, so give us a little time to get back. Maybe not 100%, but pretty much up there. And I think our attack, especially with Miazga there, I think we can do some damage.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, and I hope actually, since he would take us a little lightly.
Okay.
Like kind of like they did in the during the season when we went up, because we really let go of that game. We had him on the ropes, and we kind of let go. So I'm thinking it would be the same. However, I don't think we let up this time.
Okay.
I think that we kind of keep our foot on the throat and then just kind of keep going. We can win this game. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think we can win this game.
No, like I just I keep telling everyone, this MLS Cup playoffs, the 8 remaining teams, the 4 on the East and the 4 on the West, no one can tell me that there's a clear-cut team that's going to go to the MLS Cup and win it all. Any one of these 8 teams can win it. And, looking at Cincinnati, look, they are a tough team. You're going to be playing in a hostile environment. But the Union have done this before. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't feel good about game 1 or 2 against New England. And yet the Union found a way to get the job done. And that's kind of the difference. When you have this experience, when you went through what the Union have gone through, that what makes me feel more comfortable about this team. Like, I know we all hated the time off, and you hit it spot on, but this actually did help.
Yeah,
because you're having bodies back. We could have Glessis back as well. Jim announced yesterday too. He's going to be in the selection. He's at least going to be in the 18. So with that time off as well, keep in mind the Union have also had bye weeks before too. They know how to plan for this.
Yeah.
So I think with all that they've gone through before, that should give the edge to Cincinnati. But Pat Noonan, and since he's head coach, they have done this too as well. He was the assistant coach here in Philly, so he does know a little thing too about Philadelphia too.
So let's talk about that real quick. So Noon, obviously coming under curtain, he knows him very well.
Oh yeah.
So what part do you think that plays in today's game, and do you think that's going to be an advantage for him as the apprentice, or Jim as the mentor.
I think in the other matchups for sure it made a big difference because tactically Pat knows Jim very well and knows what this team wants to do, knows these players very well, knows the movement of the attacking line. But I think that with this one, you kind of have to throw that away because it is a playoff and anything can happen. It's really about what happens on the pitch. I mean, tactics are really like there's going to be some sort of importance of tactics here tonight, but dude, it's all going to be mental because both these teams are missing key pieces and both these teams are kind of set up very similarly. So it's really going to be what happens on the pitch and who can hack immensely. You cannot make mistakes. That's something Jim talked about yesterday in the presser. You cannot make those dumb mistakes. You cannot give a team like Cincinnati those opportunities to get on top of you. These first 15 minutes, gentlemen, are be so important.
Yeah.
And for the Union, you got to attack those first.
Yeah, well, first of all, our own Austin's checking in, Gus. Here's a comment for you.
Here.
yeah. I mean, Austin's checking in. Any update right here, gentlemen, on the situation?
He will be out. The one thing that we need still wording on is the pro referee word. So he's out today because of yellow card accumulation. He got a yellow card against the Red Bull, too many yellow cards. So he'll be out here today. But there was a story after the Red Bull Game 2 match in Red Bull Arena where he apparently decided to storm the referee's locker room. Yes, he was not happy. So these are all stories, right? So we don't have like the full investigation, but Matt Miazga is known for this type of stuff. Like he's just, I wouldn't say he's like a problem per se, but he's obviously very passionate.
Animated. That's it. He's
Perfect
very
word.
animated.
Perfect word. Animated. I think he's well known for the U.S.-Mexico match in Nashville, like 5-6 years ago, where he goes up to Diego Lainez, who at that point was one of the most promising prospects for Mexico. And they got in a little bickering. And obviously, Diego is a little bit short and Matt is a little bit tall. So Matt decides to point him out. He's kind of short. And that's how everyone knows Matt Miazga. But glad he's not playing in this one because he's a really talented center back, obviously, in this league. But yeah, I don't know what Matt was thinking on that.
So, Mitch, good morning to you, sir. What's up, Mitch? My man Dale checking in. What's up, Dale? Says, go Union.
Hey.
So, my thing is looking at this matchup, Mitch. JP, I look at it, and this is the storyline that fits the bill. I mean, teacher versus student, Patrick Union versus Jim Curtin. I mean, the intangibles all there. The last game these two squared off, and it was ugly. It was a rainy day. It was a 2-2 draw. The Philadelphia Union were off to a great start. The second start, they right out the chute. That's one of the major gray areas of the team is that they continued taking their foot off the gas pedal, and they allowed the FC Cincinnati to hang around. My problem is you can't do that today. You can't allow this team to hang around. They're going to have they're going to be at home. Granted, they ain't going to be no slippery turf like up in New England. So let me ask you, JP. Who does it for the Union today? Who gets the job done?
It's funny on my drive here as I'm passing the Ben Frank, I'm thinking to myself, like, this would be the perfect night for Daniel Gadsden to just absolutely be. And I don't know if we're allowed to curse here, but
yes,
I just want to be an asshole tonight.
Yeah.
So, like, if you guys remember CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yes, CONCACAF Champions League when we beat Atlas, and we hit that PK. And Daniel Gazak looks at that player and just starts screaming in his face. And he kind of had that like that jerk off type of mentality.
Yeah.
And that's when he's at his best. Be that fucking jerk off, man. Be an asshole. Get in under their skin. Everyone likes to come at those PKs, but that's so hard to hit. Like if I'm looking at one player here tonight, I'm looking at Gazak to just be that number 10. We talked about it. Acosta more than likely gets the MVP tonight.
Yeah.
Same position as Gazak.
Yeah.
Dude, that should piss you off.
Yeah.
That man won MVP. I'm the MVP. I'm the number 10. And that's what you want to see there from Gazak. And look, these two teams have a lot of familiarity. You're absolutely right. And listen, the problem with the Union this year has been playing a full 90 minutes. That's why I think it's so important to start off fast. Because when this team plays with the lead, they can play their style of soccer. They like to be defensive. That's who they are. Mm-hmm. So when you have the lead, you can stick to what you know the best. So it's going to be so important to get that lead. You mentioned that second half. It's been a problem all year long. Problem has been depth. You don't have Corey Burke coming off the bench. You don't have Paxton Aronson coming off the bench. This year's bench, I mean, you have some young kids. Chris Donovan's been a great story, Drexel's own, right? But, I mean, you are still missing that threat, that Elsinho, that Corey Burke, that, like, after 60 minutes.
That jolt.
Yes.
Yeah, that jolt that come
guys are
bench,
tired, and
I
they're
thought,
just getting scared.
And
I
thought Porras was going to be that guy, though.
Me too.
I really did. I was really hopeful when we signed him because he's not your starter, but he has the ability to give you that jolt. He's just not doing it. He's fast. He's quick. He can dribble. He can get you there. He can maybe not be able to finish as well, but he can get there, and that's what I was hoping. And we just stopped using him, I guess, because them didn't like something.
Here's the problem with Joaquin Torres. He's talented for sure. Yeah. He's talented. He just doesn't fit this style of play.
Right.
He probably fits more of like a heavy possession type of style soccer, like NYC, or like, your big prem guy, Manchester City, how they hold the ball. They dictate the match with a lot of possession. I feel like Joaquin is better suited for a system like that, not a system where everything has to be quick. We need quick decisions out there. You remember Jamiro Montero?
Yeah.
I think he fits his style a little bit more. Jamiro, my main problems at the end of the tenure was he's very talented as well. But, dude, you have the ball with space. Why are you wasting time doing all these Tecker dribbles? Just get the ball out. There's Olivier or Kai Wagner wide open on the wing. Get the ball to him. And that was my problem. And Joaquin Torres has had the same issue. And it sucks because, like, his first match comes off the bench. One of the best assists I've ever seen in Subaru Park.
It was awesome.
And we're all going crazy. We all thought we had our next Elsinho. And then, we just kind of saw what happened.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a shame because that's a big part.
It's huge, man.
It's a big part of what the Union have been doing for years. We do have that person off the bench to come do it. Burke did it last year, which was great. And that's what I was hoping for. It didn't work out. But depth it's super important.
So important, especially now, and we'll see what the future holds for the league, but you're going to have so many more matches. You are going to need that depth. Everyone likes to say, like, why don't the Union ever get an Ibrahimovic, a Messi type? Well, it'd be cool. It would be cool. But
they don't like to spend money.
That too. That's a big part of it. But also, I love that this team has always emphasized depth. Those teams, like, look at Miami. What happens when Messi goes out? Who are you going to rely on?
Right.
And you need that depth, and that's so important. Would be nice to spend a little more money, but depth is always big, man.
Yeah. Well, even use that money for the depth, though. Like, we don't have to. I don't think we're ever gonna. Well, I don't want to say ever. I don't think anytime soon we're going to sign that that big name. That's not who the Philadelphia Union are.
No.
But yet we're still in the game, and we're still we still get to the finals, and we're still there. We're not going to do it. So as long as this is working.
The league has always shown, man, especially the past couple of years, it's not how much you spend, because you see Chicago, you see Atlanta, you see them spend big money on big players. They're not, they're not going to MLS Cup finals. It's how you spend that money. Cincinnati is the best example because they obviously have always spent money since coming in the league in 2020 or 2019, but now they're spending it very smartly, and you're seeing it. Supporter Shield, you have an MVP, you have Defender of the Year. You got to spend it smartly, man.
Well, look at that stride they made in just 1 year.
Yep.
Right? They're doing something right.
So you get Chris Albright, who comes from this Union system, who it's all about developing, finding those diamonds in the rough, and you mix that with a Cincinnati ownership group who wants to throw the dough. That's the perfect marriage, and that we just need here for our Jay to throw a little extra dough so that Ernst can keep cooking, because he's been cooking, guys. Maybe not past off season, but overall his tenure in Philly, he's been cooking.
Well, just to keep everyone updated before we get into any more comments, guys, we do have our man JP in the house from PHLY Philadelphia. Him, Renee Washington, do a great job. So please, guys, give him a follow. We're so pleased and present that he's in the house today with us. JP, I want to say thank you so much. But guys,
thank you, man.
Guys, if you guys are just waking up, just getting out of bed, we are talking here on Edge of Philly Sports Network. We are talking, getting you ready on the attack and third, getting you ready for the big game tonight. Philadelphia Union taking on the FC Cincinnati tonight. Semifinals. Guys, for the fans out there, please chime into the show. And as our man, I'm going to give you this one, Gus. He says, we have the hungriest dogs on the field for me.
What's up, Ian?
What's going on, Ian? Yeah, that's how we are, though. We're pretty gritty. That's how we are as a fan base, just as a whole. We like to be the dogs, so we love it.
I love it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it too, and I think we play better like that. it resonates with the fans. The fans are going to get more into it. I think it's great. I think we're going to go out and we're going to be smart, and we're going to take this, man.
I want Jason Kelsey to walk into that dressing room and just give him the speech of all speeches. Daniel Gazak, they say you only scored PKs. Olivier Basso, they say you don't defend. Like, I need that. And Philly, like, I know it's Saturday, but it is a dupe Saturday, and it is playoff Saturday.
Yes,
Wake up. Come on.
So I got to ask you guys. No, but the big problem is you guys are talking about the Hungry Dogs.
Yeah.
How much of a problem it's going to be, though, for Jim Curtin to – and listen, it might go towards Patrick Newton, though, but how much of a problem it's going to be that Patrick Newton knows Jim Curtin's playbook? How much – and he's got better pieces and all those other things, all those intangibles going to happen. How much of a problem is this going to be for Jim Curtin to come up with some kind of big play? I mean, Patrick Newton has all the playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Curtin to an extent, Daniel Gosling hasn't looked sharp unless it's in the power play or penalty goal situation. What is going to be the X's and O's to find the back of net for the Philadelphia Union?
If I'm being honest, I don't. If it was a regular season match, I think that factor would be important. But because this is the playoffs, I wouldn't even factor that. It's not going to be about Jim or about Pat. It's going to be about Gazdak. It's going to be about Acosta. It's going to be about Vasquez. It's going to be about Carranza. It's going to be about the players on the pitch. I think to me, that's what's going to be the most important part. I'm telling you, this is going to be a gritty match.
Yeah, and it's going to be what you're able to do in the 90 minutes.
I'm telling you, the first half injury time, second half injury time is going to be north of 5 minutes each. I think there's going to be a lot of stoppage. I think there's going to be some nasty slide tackles. We'd even talk about El Brujo Martinez, who is the biggest shit talker of them all out there, man. And there's a lot of Spanish speakers on the pitch between the Union and Cincinnati. There's going to be a lot of, in the face refereeing, trying to control guys. Like, I think that's what it's going to come down to. We talked about it. Mistakes are going to be so important, and the team that makes the least amount of them, that's what it's going to come down to, man. I'm trying to think about what playoff game here in Philadelphia we've had something similar to. Like, it's truly going to be like two great teams just going head on head, man, and just bumping heads here tonight, man.
Yeah, and we got to execute. That's what it comes down to. I think Jim's gonna be ready. He's been here before. He's done this before. He's gonna be ready. I know he is. It's just gonna come down to execution, like you said. It's gonna be up to the players. You're gonna know the game plan. You're gonna know your scheme. You're gonna know what to do. Just you got to do it. Yeah. Right. That's just it.
Maybe like Toronto, and I know it didn't end in our way, but Toronto and Philly back in Jimmy Butler's year here in Philly, like those were the two. Honestly, those were the two best teams in the Eastern Conference that year, and you saw how that ended up. It could come down to the last minute here, those last 10 minutes, injury time. It can come down to that, but you cannot make mistakes. And that's why I like Philly, because I think in these situations you see a different team. Yeah, you're 100% right, Pat. Like, Daniel Gazak needs to wake the fuck up here tonight. Yeah. Like, that's why I mentioned that. Like, what better way than here tonight in the semifinal when Acosta just wins the MVP? So I'm with you, but I think it's less about the X's and the O's, more about the Jimmies and the Joes.
Yeah, I like that. Our man Eric chiming in goes 30 years later. We're on to finally get to the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, at least we're all felt like 30 years in.
Backs there.
Austin says substitution on the attack at third. You pulled him for JP. Very much so. Very much so. We're bringing out the pink guns there, Austin.
I still miss you, man. I said.
Our man Dal checking against the international break is over. So, again, like I said, we're getting tons and tons of comments coming through here. Of course, our man Eric always likes to drop a novel. The time they played in a factor, though, the FC Cincinnati hasn't played in forever.
They haven't played
longer than the Union. We've seen what happens with tons of times off.
Well, maybe that's an advantage, Philly, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna need to. We have to pick advantages this weekend. Maybe that's an advantage, Philly.
Since he hasn't done this before, they haven't had an extended bye week like this for a playoff match. The Union have done this before. Yeah. They've lost and they've also won. So that's why I give that edge to Philadelphia. Jim knows how to prepare for this.
Right, and here goes one from Ian. He goes, Jim has more playoff experience in the coaching than Pat. Plus, he's trying to set that image of him being the next Andy Reid. We're here. I see that. I do see that, Ian. He's trying to be the next Andy Reid.
He's got the coaching tree now.
Yeah, he does have the coaching tree. Gus,
I just hope that he's able to win one though.
Not with Andy went to go to KC and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like I went here.
I like the comparison. I'm not comfortable with it.
So is Daniel Gazak supposed to be McNabb? I mean, I don't know.
No throwing up tonight, Daniel.
Please. That cat's cold though. Like listen, penalty when you watch soccer, right? When you've been watching your whole life, penalties, they're not as easy.
They're all mental, man.
They are. They're very much so. They're not as easy as they look. When you see I have conversations like this all the time with friends. Like, oh, it's a big goal. You just kick the ball. No, you just don't kick the ball. You have to be able to put it like somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's like if you ever watch those old Western movies.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like a duel. Like who pulls out the pistol faster, right? And that's how a PK is, man. It's you. It's a couple feet. It's a goalkeeper who is nuts as all hell. Like you going up against Andre Blake, that man's. It's going to be hard to get past him. So
he covers a lot of ground.
It's not easy. That's why I don't want people should not be slandering Gazak. Like he has 11 goals, but he's also perfect from that spot. That's so hard to do.
It is.
We would like him to score from the open play. I think that part of the problem has been teams have the playbook on the Union. They know those movements. They know how Gazak likes to feed off of Carranza and Ura. But I think it's going to come down to who wants it more there. Yep. And listen, Gazak, the night like tonight, you're going to have to find any edge you can. So if whoever's starting that back line for Cincinnati tonight, you might have some inexperienced guys or guys who are not comfortable there. Gazak, find that PK. I don't care. Anyone, you guys can come at me about flopping all you want in a match like tonight. I don't care. I want the win.
Oh, it's just part of the game, man.
Yeah, it's also part of the game.
Yeah, and it's also like it's harder to flop because of VAR, right? Yeah, it's harder to flop, so you can't really just blatantly just fall down and then the ref's going to call it. Like he may be far away, but then he's going to check and be like, that's not a foul. They didn't call it back. So. Yeah, there are some times where you just let yourself fall or get yourself in there to get that call, but it's harder to just flop in today's world.
Yeah, that is 100% true. It is part of the game, but I mean, we got to find a way to get that edge, man. And getting that PK may be it. Like I said, whatever you got to do to get that first goal, because I think whoever scores the first goal will not only win this game. But I think that you tonight you'll be watching the MLS Cup winner, man, or at least the Eastern Conference representative, because I think these two are the teams that will be representing the Eastern Conference here.
Yeah. So Eric chimes in because who's WP?
We're not there yet.
He said slander Gaza. I'd rather slander Uwa. He needs to show me he has worth the money. Gaza and Carranza had already shown that. Yeah, and that was going to be my next point. I definitely need to see an Uwa signing tonight.
Talk about aggression, man. Like that was crazy. He's been just not there.
And I'm pretty sure JP, you've been alongside with me in the press conference, and they've some of the media members have been asking Jim Curtin, what's the deal here? When's he going to show up? All those things. I mean. Like guys, you just said, the backsteps of this guy. He hasn't been there worth the money, and he knows that. Everyone knows that. So again, does that fall on Jim Curtin trying to come up with a play, or is it just him not executing the goal?
If he's not there, who's going to be up there? That's the thing.
Quinn Sullivan has really stepped up. I feel like. I mean, he looked really good in that New England series. He's just young. That's really what it is. He's just young, but I love his ability to space. He doesn't give up on plays. He just wants to win too. But no, I mean, like Eric said it perfectly. Like I've been critical of Urre as well. When you're making the most money on a team that doesn't make a lot of money or doesn't give out a lot of money, I should say, it's obviously it means to get your fingers pointed at you. I mean, you got to.
Yeah, eyes are definitely on you.
I love that so what a lot of people don't realize is he's so important off the ball. His movement draws a lot of attention, and that opens up spacing for Gazak and Carranza to take advantage of. But at the end of the day, you were brought in here to score goals. And here's the thing. If you look at his history, he in Brøndby also had a slow start there as well. Now, he's a little bit older, and you would think that he's matured from that, but he did start slow there. Thing is that with the MLS and the way it's looking and the pressure that is also increasing, I don't know how much longer you can wait on him to kind of score those banger goals. We'll see because I do think Carranza will be gone this winter. We'll see if
sadly enough,
we'll see if another striker kind of helps him unlock. Maybe Urre becomes that lead goal scorer. Carranza really has been that lead goal scorer as forwards, whereas Urre more is the guy behind the scenes, essentially, like Pat today. But not to say I want my back scores goals, guys. Pat scores goals.
Let's pump the brakes on that. Pat can only score goals when the refrigerator is open.
He scores something.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Muffler Mike, my man from Connecticut, check it.
What's up, Mike?
Good morning, Chance. Special luck to the Philadelphia Union today. Like I said, and then he also chimes in, don't forget, a number of teams have reached the Cup Finals after losing the Cup Finals, so nothing's impossible. But look, so to me, when I look at this game here going forward, it's going to be out in Cincinnati, so when I break things down, again, we're going to need some guys to step up, and I need a Carranza. Gus, you've been critical of this all year. He's like
he exactly being critical. I was nitpicking.
Well, you're calling the Jake Elliott. When the goal's right in front of him, he'll miss a wide open shot. But if he's 30 yards,
Elliott does not miss.
Yeah, but I mean, no. So I need to see Carranza step up. I need a playmaking something of him.
See, here's the thing. I was nitpicking about Carranza earlier in the season just because it seemed like every game he was just missing wide open goals.
Yes.
And if you figure it out, he hasn't done that in a while, so that's good. And I know how important he is to this team. I know he's our goal scorer, but I was nitpicking. I never said that he was bad and he shouldn't play. Pat.
Oh, you crushed this guy. Speaking of crush,
I was nitpicking on Carranza, though. I was.
Well, look what just popped up on the screen here. Oh boy!
And there we go.
Show us your coffee if you want, Pat. No, I'm not doing that this morning, Jose. Beat it. Get out of here.
Pat likes to have a little diabetes with his coffee. And
what are you drinking, Pat?
I put a straw in it one time, and this guy Jose crushes me for it. I love Jose, great guy, but my God, he does not take his foot off the gas pedal. He's one tough customer to sit next to, hang out with in a press conference. The first time I hung out with this guy, JP, my man shot me eyes like, you don't belong here. And he looked like he went to knuckle me right from the gate. I said, dude, is there something I did? Do I need to change my face?
No, you just have that face right
there. I love Jose. He does a great job. He gets sugar with coffee. Yes, load of sugar coffee. Okay, buddy.
There you go, cream or milk?
He goes 6 pumps of caramel syrup.
Yeah, I got to load it up. Listen, and especially a day like today, I'm going to need all the coffee. I'm going to need all the energy. And I'm hoping the Philadelphia Union bring the same kind of energy and intensity.
And not only the Union, man, like we need to get it. Like, we need to get there, man. Like, we have to be excited for this matchup. I think we can get this done. It's not impossible. Cincy has a very good team, but missing pieces. This is a perfect opportunity for us to just come in there and just smack them in their own house.
Like I said, man, it's so simple. It's a simple statement. 3 wins and you win the MLS Cup. After all the matches we played this year, 3 wins and you win the MLS Cup. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know why you're watching.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm all ready for the night, man.
I'm excited too.
Yes. So we're getting comments, me getting crushed on the coffee aspect. You made your bed, Pat. Thanks, Austin. Jose says, I get loaded up. Pause. Not like that, you sick freak. You sick freak, you. But yeah, like I said, and then we got one more comment coming in. One at home is amazingly they hosted
exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Eric. Yeah. That adds to the point.
That's huge.
You make the MLS Cup. You're back in Chester, and again, 3 wins, and you win the MLS Cup. It is that simple. One other match, because I love that you guys are bringing up the attack, because I think it's so important here tonight. But it's so important because on the widths, typically where we get a lot of attack, right? You get a lot of contributions from Mbaizo or Harry on that side, and Wagner. Wagner, obviously, we know not playing tonight. So I don't know how much contribution you're going to get from both those flanks, because you're going to have Harry possibly, who doesn't play at the left. He's a right-handed shooter, kicker. Right. And then Mbaizo, we know he can contribute, but there's always that fear. What if a defender gets behind him and now he's chasing and now everything is discombobulated? So that is so key. Keep an eye out for that. One other option, I don't think Jim would run with this, but you can throw 3 in the back Glasses is available for selection, so you do have that possibility. I don't know if Jim will decide to start him, but Harriel is an option. You can use a center back. He's done that before. Matt Real, he doesn't get a lot of play time, but
I don't want Matt. I don't want that. I was
Matt. Listen, Matt is good on the attack. He's got a nice ball. He can cross the ball in, but again, the same thing like in Bizo, he just struggles getting back.
I don't think this is a game for that. We need to.
I don't think so either. It's just another option.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think.
So what's the bag looking like to you today? You think?
It really comes down to what Jim feels about Glazis, to be honest with you. But I think that regardless, you're probably going to see the 4-back line. I think that's what Jim's probably going to roll with. You're probably going to see Harriel, either Glazis or Lowe, and then Elliott starting with Mbizo on the other side. That's what happened in Game 2 against New England. I think that's what's going to happen here today.
I think Glazis looked all right.
No.
So he lives right behind where I work.
Hey.
I see him walking around all the time. I talked to him and Gosdog the one time I was leaving work and they were walking their kids like trick or treating. I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
Sick, man. That's sick.
He looked fine.
Yeah.
He's
a tough dude,
like
man.
limb or nothing. He's just he looked good. I doubt that he starts. I'm hoping that obviously I'm not their doctor, so I'm hoping he's 100% that Jim feels comfortable starting him. I don't think his starts. I think we might see him, and I'm hoping that this is a game where, like you said, like last minute type of goal, and then Glesnes comes in like the 80th minute to put like a 95th minute banger to take him over to the other side.
Or like last playoff match against them, Leon Flock. Who would have thought Leon Flock would have gotten a game-winning goal against Cincinnati?
Talk about somebody I've been critical of. Leon Flock is the one.
You don't have to worry about him this year. Probably will be out for the rest of the year.
So Ames checking in goes, then we would have want Cincinnati, Sporting KC to win over Houston so we can host the MLS Finals. And then our man Jose goes same as New England and Subhoven for Carranza. I don't know. I mean, he's going to have to explore a little bit more on that. I
wouldn't be opposed to even starting Sullivan if I'm being honest with you.
I don't think I would either
because like you guys pointed out, I mean, the second half's been an issue.
Yeah.
So part of that is because what fresh bodies are you bringing off the bench? So if you could have like even Ure or Carranza coming off the bench, you start Sullivan. Sullivan can give you strong 60 minutes of good pace, and I don't think that's a bad option either.
No, not at all. I think this is even smarter because, like you said, if we want to keep a momentum going in the second half, to put our starter in the second half, for him, I think Sullivan can hold his own.
He's also due for a goal. I feel like he's been putting in that work. He looked good against New England. Like he deserves a goal, man.
He does.
Yeah, I definitely. And here goes one because you've been nammering this all the time too. How much playing time does Bedoya get tonight?
Probably 90 if he's going.
He's going to get the full 90.
The thing is, he has to.
You need that voice,
talk about that, and in a game like this, he has to, right? Unless he's just looking extremely slow, and then you have to solve him or injury. Yeah. But I mean, you kind of have to. Like, who you take Bedoya out? I mean, who you gonna put in Torres? He's not a voice.
No. I mean, like I said, it's just amazing to me. Like we've complained about, great, you're getting this seasoned veteran and all this time, but I mean, if you watch his style play on the field, man, you can see where he's a leader. I mean, he tries to set guys up. He tries hard to find the back of the net, but most importantly, he tries to become that more of a assist player, that facilitator on the field, where he tries to find guys open and so forth. So I mean, he's doing a hell of a job out there. Just like you said, we've talked about the fly in the room about him not being happy with the front office and so forth, looking to move on from him. After the season. So again, this is the best audition he could put on for maybe an FC Cincinnati, potentially go over there.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
We would lose it if that happens. If he goes to Cincy, another Philly player.
Even if though, like he's gonna be back.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
If he does leave, I feel like he's gonna have a job with the Union.
You don't think that this whole situation with the way it kind of ended won't affect that at all?
No, I don't think so.
I hope not, man.
I think because he's pretty tied with the community. Like he likes it here. He's been with the Union how many years now?
2016. So wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It's been that long.
It's 2016. He's been with the Union for a long time. I mean, ideally he would want to retire here, right? But sometimes it's just the job. It's the business. So yeah, you don't have to be happy about it, but there's going to come a time where he's just going to be. You're going to think of the Union, and you're going to think of Outlet, right?
I mean, I think you got to build a freaking statue for him. Like him, Jim. Like Jim absolutely needs a statue outside of Subaru Park when it's all said and done. But at least Allie needs to be on that Wall of Fame that we got going on.
No, I'll take Jim with the. I'm all for that, just because of look at the talent that we've had, and what he's been able to do with the talent that we've had, which, like you said earlier in the show, like we don't have a big name, we don't have an Ibrahimovic coming in, like we don't have that yet. We've been successful for how many years now?
But I look at it like Pat's got the sweater on right now, man. I look at the Flyers, and you think of like those Broad Street Bully days. You think of Shiro, man.
Yeah,
and that's why is that statue. When I think of the Union during this era, I do think of Jim. And what Jim exemplified, and Shiro exemplified that era of Flyers hockey, and so that to me is why he deserves that statue, man. He is Union soccer, and I obviously it's going to be tough to kind of keep this culture for decades. But like when you think of Union soccer, I think of what Jim and Ernst have put together over the past couple of years.
It's funny. So I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago, me, Gus, and Vinny Quinn from Birds in the Bell podcast. Mm-hmm. We had a conversation, and he said, it's funny to me that like if the Union keep on this pace of consistency of playoff soccer and all that stuff, we have the feeling like they may, and where we're at now. And look, I said I love all the teams. I love all the Philadelphia sports teams, but they kind of boost in front of the Flyers because of where they're at. I mean, the consistency playoff run, all those intangibles. Again, last year, make it to the MLS Cups, even the casual MLS fans, so the guys who never even watch soccer, your typical 4-for-4. I had people blowing up my phone saying, "Well, this is a great product." I said, "Bro, you need to watch this more often." Then, I mean, if you're just watching one game because they're in it for a championship, but that's what this is what playoffs do. They, for your casual Philadelphia sports fan who's not really involved, but they're going to come supporting the team. Me and Gus are in a group chat with our old neighborhood buddies. Again, they're kind of your old typical 4-4, but anytime a Philadelphia sports team is in that realm, they're going to come support. And that's what it's about. And that's what people need to get. I mean, I know, granted, people are not getting the Apple, Apple TV package. But I mean, you should really, invest in today because today the Union are going to need everyone's support. So come check it out. And plus, guys, in the house today, we have our man JP from PHLY Philadelphia. Please give him a follow on all social media. Him, Renee, you got Eric Camille, and great Union heads over there. So, guys, go give them a follow. Go give PHLY a follow. Great guys over there. I love the whole squad. So, guys, go give them a follow. And, of course, Gus, today, like I said, we have the big matchup. Where are you feeling right now as going into this matchup? Are you 50-50? Are you more optimistic?
I'm feeling very confident.
Are you feeling?
I feel more comfortable, more confident now than I did against the first game, New England.
Really? I wish I could be there. I wish I'm 25% invested.
It's what we talked about. It's the amount of time that we had to rest. It's the key pieces that they're missing. I'm not saying that Cincy's going to come out and just lay down and let us score, but I feel very confident because of all the variables.
Well, I don't think Jose's kind of invested. I guess how many drinks through the night? I think 4 bourbons on
Jose,
the rocks.
I'll do bourbons, but I don't do on the rocks. I do it neat.
Oh, so you do it.
I like it.
JP, where are you at? I mean, when like I said, you broke down all the the X and O's. You looked at the coaching. Where are you at though overall?
So it's funny because on our podcast, so obviously Renee and I are the main hosts on there. So I've done this whole moniker like hop on the Union positivity train. Come on over.
Yeah.
We're being positive.
It's
we're
okay.
feeling good.
It's okay.
Yeah. We got coffee without 6 sugar. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, God, don't give him no more ammunition, please. Don't give Jose any more ammunition, please.
But like, I feel confident because of just who is the core of this team, and I throw Jim in there, and I throw Ali in there, and I throw Andre in there, and I think that what makes me feel confident. You said the points too. Like Cincinnati's missing key pieces. pieces. Cincinnati hasn't been used to the situation. The break helped us. So I feel good. I feel really good. It's a playoff match. Everything is wide open. Like I just said, like all 8 of these MLS teams have an absolute clear shot of winning an MLS Cup, and that includes the Union as well. Go represent for Philadelphia. Nobody wants you to win, and we do not give an F.
No, same. So, Gus, you mentioned this too not too long ago. When you look at the matchup, though, we're talking about the offense, but one thing you mentioned though, we have the better defense. You have a man between the pipes that it's almost impossible, especially in the playoff realm. Clean the sheets, forget it's a whole new realm. And come playoff time, Andre Blake shows up, and then the defense in front of him is nasty.
We've been doing this for 40 minutes. And this is the first time we're bringing up Blake. Okay, and the reason for that is because we're not worried about Blake.
Yeah, no.
Because he does what he does. We're not worried about him. We don't need to talk about Blake because you already know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he's the brick wall, man.
He is the brick wall, man. Like, there is no defensively speaking. If you have now, mind you, if you have Glessons at 100% back there, like we're solid, man. And not having Guy on the left side is huge though, because but at 100%, everybody there, we do. Right now, we're a little bit banged up on that side, but we still have Blake in the back.
That's a big part. If there's anything to point out with Blake, he did pick up a knock during the international break with Jamaica.
Yeah, that's all.
Him and Damien and just Jamaica deserve a lot of love. They beat Canada in the Nations Cup for CONCACAF, Nations League for CONCACAF. And that was so huge. Going into Canada, I think they played in Toronto. Going into Canada, getting a win for Jamaica was so huge. And it was Andre Blake's birthday when they did it too. So I hope that confidence can bring it over here and get the job done against Cincinnati. But man, Andre is the best, man. And only thing he needs is some hardware that is a championship. Obviously, he won the Supporter Shield. Obviously, he has an Eastern Conference Final under his belt too. But MLS Cup, CONCACAF Champions League, or the Gold Cup, I should say, like something along those lines. That's what a great goalie like Andre Blake deserves, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So Eric chimes in. I'll give you this one, JB. He goes, Jose gave me hope, and I hate it. I have none of this since September, but the 5 decades of reps means something. As Cincy and not playing for 3 centuries, there's a shot. I guess if you catch, so he's thinking you can catch this team with a sleeping giant, pretty much, and they don't have the experience. But like I said, though, it's going to be a tough realm to deal with. But like Gus, like I said, the defense that's not just Blake, but in front of them, whether you have Glazos, and I don't, like you said, I don't think Glass is going to see it. I think he's still maybe like 75%, even though they said he's clear to go. But if you get Damian Lowe in there, who he's kind of make up for the ground, is going to be something spectacular.
Well, and Lowe, like JP just said, like he's coming in right from a great game against Canada. So that confidence is huge, also.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say too, only because Damian Lowe, his biggest strength, and that's probably greater than what Glazes and Ellie have. He's fast. He's athletic. And you're talking about the fast front line against Cincinnati. It may bode well. Like, you're not going to go wrong with Glazes or Lowe, but if you're talking about a Glazes who's not at 100%, why not run Lowe?
I think you do. I think it just makes sense right now. Yeah. There's no reason to change it with Glazes. I think we do start Lowe. The one thing that worries me about Lowe is he's a little too aggressive at times, and with a team like Cincinnati,
you gotta be smart.
We can't be that aggressive, and I understand. Like, that's just the way he plays. He's fast, so he can get back.
Yeah,
but with a team like Cincinnati right now, how they're built, how they play, that's not always going to be good for us.
No,
you nailed it on the head. I mean, I look back at that Nashville match near the end of the season. That was probably the best match of Damian Lowe all season long, and he had the tough challenge of going up against Winnie Mukhtar, who was the reigning MLS MVP. He had a really solid series against New England. So you're not wrong. He's a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get from 90 minutes from Damian Lowe. You don't know if he's going to have a dumb foul, but that wild card, I kind of want to go with right now.
He's either going to create a chance or get 2 yellows in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's either going to stifle someone or he's going to allow Luciano Costa go right by him for a goal. Like that's just how Damian Lowe is. There's no in between.
Yeah, you really don't know what you're going to get. I feel fine with him starting though.
Yeah, absolutely. Jose with a God. He got asked for a pull of everything in his coffee. Hey.
Mind you, every time you do
Sick
something
freak.
with Pat, this coffee thing comes up, which is hilarious.
Leave me alone.
Wow, sponsor us.
Yeah. Said Wawa's got to sponsor some coffee.
Talk to Wow after this.
Austin said we've been wrestling for 3 generations. Jose says, Gus, I'll give you this one. Keep your eye on Blake. Going to be very cold.
What is the temperature tonight?
Out there, I wonder.
It gets colder over there, right?
It gets colder, yeah. He's right. I mean, the injury isn't severe or anything like that, but it did happen. It's there, and we'll see. We can't have him aggravated, man. We can't. We can't just not have Blake during this run.
No, absolutely. And our very own J.D. Walker, another great face of the Union Press box, checking in, goes, "Hey, good morning, guys. Checking in from my mom's house. Very pumped up. He's had a 40-60 chance of us beating Cincy. And of course, CTH has checked into the show. Good morning, CTH. I'm not going to say your name, but it's very appropriate. But thanks for checking in. So
right now, it looks like tonight, the 7:00 hour, it's going to be in the high 30s, low 40s. So
wow,
get your thermals on, get your heating pads, whatever you got.
And he's from Jamaica, so
yeah.
That was my first introduction to a Union game. I want to say 2016 was my first trip.
Dude, Subaru Park in the cold is not fun.
Yeah,
dude.
No, I sat there. I went to get a hot coffee and hot cocoa. As soon as I got back to my seat, that thing was ice. I said,
"Dude, listen, last year? I think it was last year. Last year, I my brother-in-law and I have we got partial season tickets. Right? Hey. So we went over. We had a game. I got out of work. It was 70 degrees, dude. The sun was out, so I was like, "Cool." I put shorts on, put my jersey on, and then I went about my way. I took a sweatshirt because it was rumbling that it was going to rain, but it wasn't 100%. So I was like, let me take a sweatshirt. So I took it, went to the game. We get there, and we're tailgating, we're having fun. Then the clouds start coming. I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess it's going to rain. So good thing I brought my jacket, right? So or my hoodie. So I put it on, right, because it starts going, and then the wind starts. And you can see, just the darkest cloud I've ever seen in my life just come right behind it. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is going to be – so then storm starts hitting. Yeah. So it went from 70, sunny, right, to a hurricane-type cloud, just coming in, just – crazy. The game was delayed because there was thunder and lightning and all that good stuff. So we get in the car and we were waiting there 30 minutes. Then it happens again, so 30 more minutes. I'm like, whatever. Finally, after that's over, the wind starts going. I starts to get in text on my phone, tornado warning in Philly. I'm like, what the hell is happening, dude?
Yes.
It was just 70 and sunny. Now the temperature dropped.
This is this year, right?
I think was it this year or last year? I forget.
Okay. I kind of remember this.
It was. I left my house at 70. After that storm came through, it went down to 40. I have shorts on, mind you. It starts raining. I have a hoodie that gets wet. So I'm like, yo, it's the worst. So then the wind starts. 70-mile-an-hour wind. We finally get into the stadium, right? And we said we're section 130, but right next to the Sons of Baton North, 134. Mm-hmm. And we get there. I get to my seat, and the wind is just in my face. And I'm wet. I have shorts on. I'm like, I'm trying to do something. And I went around. One of the security people had a poncho, so they gave me a poncho. I put it on. I was still sitting there, I literally, it was so cold just because of the wind. You're gonna think I'm making this up. At a point, you can ask my brother. He was there. Okay, it started snowing, dude.
Nice.
For a minute,
after tomorrow,
it started coming down. I'm like, I'm gonna die here. It's
the end of the world
happening right now. That was the worst. But it was Philly at the time.
Yeah,
and whether we won that game though,
hey.
I have not been to Subaru Park and witness a loss.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good. So
ever.
Okay.
Well, listen, Gus, they might need you to head out to FC Cincinnati.
Well, once we take care of business here, then I'll see them again.
Well, listen, Gus, I'll give you this one from Austin.
Dude, what was that?
Oh yeah, did you see that?
I did see that. I don't know the full context. For context for everyone, I'm not a USMNT fan, so I don't really keep up with the USMNT. But every now and then I'll watch something on Twitter, and when I saw that, I was like, "What is he doing? Like, what?"
Yeah,
it made no sense.
And this is a guy, right? Like, from my understanding, he doesn't have a most secure spot in Europe. Doesn't have the most secure spot with the U.S. men's national team. So for him to act out like that, I just don't get it.
He's a pretty nice talent in terms of. I mean, he'd probably get signed by somebody, but this just doesn't help. He's not there. You can't do this if you want to land like a good contract. And it's weird because it's not usually like him. If this is who he's turning into, that's going to be a problem for him just going forward.
But it does make me ask, like, so what happened in Barcelona? What happened in Milan? Like those are two world-class clubs. Why didn't it work out? And I gotta ask those questions. I don't know.
Honestly, I think they just found somebody that was better.
Okay, yeah, that is very likely as well.
Yeah.
But that does not look good.
No, not at all. So Jose saying Union plus 300. I guess I don't know if he's looking
I'm
DraftKings or whatever.
I'm putting
plus 340 on the books.
On that,
Big underdogs, despite.
I'm putting some down on that.
Coffee's on Gus tomorrow.
Yes.
You can get 7 pumps back.
I take it easy on pump here. For sure. Here goes Eric. He goes for sure, but losing a draw, maybe lost tells maybe Batard is up for the same old holding for his team back. Gus, you want to take that one?
What do you say?
I guess he's talking about the U.S. now. So
I think he's talking about the U.S.
Is up to the same old holding this team back. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Alaza CONCACAF game at Super Park is either. It was
that was another one.
Yeah,
absolutely freezing. Yeah. So listen, I
don't think. I mean, it obviously affects how we play on the field, but I don't think it affects us that much. We don't look a lot different.
It affects the fans, but doesn't.
Well, yeah, it affected me.
Well, no. So when it gets colder, the fans just get drunker. But no,
yes.
That's even better.
The Sons of Ben are going to be raging. And matter of fact, I saw on social media, Sons of Ben already packed their van and start making the ride out there. Good. So it should feel like a home game tonight. Wish Jim that got the job instead of.
So there was big talk about Curtin going over to the U.S. to coach.
Yeah.
I think that died down though. I don't think that's happening.
They went with Berhalter.
Yeah, which is dumb. I don't like Berhalter.
No. I can completely understand. I think for Jim, I think winning is so important, especially here. This project in Philly is so important only because it's obviously a great project, building it from ground up, but he's from here. So I think that's more important to him. But I think for him, the future is overseas. I want to see Jim coaching in Europe. I want to see Jim coaching those guys, dealing in an environment like Europe. So I think that is the future, man.
I think he can get there. Maybe he won't. Maybe not. But he'll get like a Series B team or something like that.
Anything. I would love to see.
But once he gets over there, I think he has the ability to build up.
Yeah, Holland. I mean, the championship. Any. It doesn't have to be the Prem. Doesn't have to be La Liga. Doesn't have to be Bundesliga. I know everybody wants to probably see him at like AC Milan or something like that. But no, he's not going to get that type of job, and that's okay. You get your start where you can. Europe is hard, and as an American coach, it's so big because you don't have a lot of Americans coaching overseas, and the Jesse Marsh experience may have hurt that for American coaches, which is unfair. But if Jim can go over that would be big.
And going back to the men's, the U.S. men's soccer team.
Yeah,
I don't know if they know, but your coach doesn't have to be American.
Yeah, I think they're still a little sour over Klinsmann. I don't know. That's
yes,
but
it's true. But they keep looking. They keep looking at just Berhalter's just not the answer. And the problem is that the U.S. I'm from Peru originally.
Hey,
so I'm that's
Uninca.
Yeah, so that's my. We're not doing so hot right now, so
not at all. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. But I was born there. Trust me, I'm used to it. So to my point is, like we kind of do the same thing, like where we dabble with coaches and we keep going back to Peruvian coaches. I'm like, this doesn't work.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that.
Yeah, sure. Well, again, going a little around the horn a little bit there, Gus. Our main man, Roberto Vince, kind of shot you, essentially over what he said on Twitter about what one of their coaches getting fired or something like that. Yeah.
Which one?
Roberto Vince, the one he posted on Twitter.
Oh yeah. So our coach got fired finally, but he also played defense for us back in the 90s, and he took over the team. And in four matches, we didn't shoot for goal, not one time. We didn't have one strike at goal.
What happened with Gareca?
Well, Gareca just did his time and left.
He's done.
Yeah, I think he didn't like the contract.
He's a legend,
dude. He's going to go down. They try to get him back. He said no, but they try to get him back now. He's going to go down. He took Peru back to the World Cup after 36 years.
Yeah, I remember that.
We hadn't been to a World Cup since Spain of '82.
Yes,
you got Chile to thank for that one for beating Colombia.
Dude, you are like that when that happened. I flew to Peru because my parents were over there, so I flew to Peru to watch it. That was the best experience. Literally, when I'm telling you that I've never seen like a country shut down for 90 minutes.
Europe, you guys can get mad at what I'm about to say. That's fine, but there's no soccer atmosphere than the one in South America. You can go to Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Argentina. There's nothing that compares. And you guys get mad at me all you want, but it's just beautiful.
You're not all. There's a reason, and I get heat for this all the time too because people know I'm a 5'5". Like I love the Eagles. Yeah. I love everybody. Right. Same. There's a reason why soccer is the number one sport in the world.
Yeah,
and people sometimes they don't understand that, and they get mad.
It's religion, man.
But it really is. Like, did you see what happened in Brazil?
With Argentina and Brazil, dude.
So that part, it was so much so that literally Argentinian fans were getting beat by Brazilian police.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And then the Argentinian goalkeeper is trying to fight.
Yeah, and then Dibu trying to get his hands like Ron Artest style. Like, I was like, what is happening?
There's a mouse in Brazil.
Wow. So much so that Messi literally took his team and said, "I'm out. Wow. Like let's go. We're not playing until they calm down," and then they finish the game. And Argentina ended up winning, which was even worse because the Brazilians were like pissed because they're not great. I love the Brazil. They're the two teams that they're always there. Brazil
it's Real Madrid and Barcelona in our
Brazil has never missed a World Cup ever.
So JP, so give you a little history with me and Gus. Me and Gus grew up together. We go back. I almost say about 30 years close to that. So when I met Gus and his family, I tell you, as crazy as people are on the streets about the Eagles, you go into that household, you better know Peru soccer like the back of your hand, or his dad is going to launch you out that front door. And I've been on that launch side.
And we're really like Universitario Deportes, which is my team down there, just won 27th championship this year.
Nice.
And my dad and I woke kids, like we woke my kids up because I was just like screaming. And my dad gets he gets so into it that sometimes he won't watch because he'll physically get ill. Literally, like it has a physical reaction.
That's why like this whole 5 for 5 has been so important for me because I grew up like you, man. Like soccer was so important to me. And I want Philadelphia to feel that because this is by far the best sports city in America. And I may be biased,
100%,
but mix that with soccer. I mean, I think it's a special marriage, man.
Well, it's same like, and again, because I've been with Gus, again, growing up, and so again, a lot of people can't really separate themselves like the 4-4, and they stop there. Like if people just took the time and invest, and I did. Anytime you wear Philadelphia on your sleeve, I'm invested. Anytime it doesn't,
same, man.
Yeah, and so again,
well, a lot of people just look at it like, "Oh, they're just running." Like, no, they're not just running.
That's every sport. They run. No, so again, it's but the content, I love it. I love it. I've been fully invested. And again, we've strived hard to get in this podcast up and running.
And I got to give it to Pat because he's one of the people that he saw the product and said when curiosity got the best of him, and then he dove in head first.
We need more. We need more people like you, Pat, to make content because it's awareness. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you do it. You just talk about it. because at the end of the day, it's going to become more of a thing here in Philadelphia. In Philly, I mean, I don't know what the future of Philly sports radio is. We see what's going on with that, but why can't we talk about the Birds? Why can't we talk about Jalen Hurts and his production now, and then switch over to Gazdag improving upon his play? Like, why can't we move into that?
So I feel like we're getting closer to that. Though. As a fan base, the Union
for sure
gained some traction in the last couple of years. The winning helped, obviously. Absolutely. Winning helps because the atmosphere at Subaru Park is awesome. Like when you go down there for a game, you can take your kids. You don't have to go over there and go crazy like an Eagles game, right? But it is a very nice atmosphere, and you still get that Philadelphia fan feel to it. Even though you're in Chester, which I love the stadium, I love where it is, but you still get that Philadelphia fan experience.
You hear fans calling the other team jerk offs, like
like I said, for me though, like the like you said, every time I go down and I cover this team bulk of the year, and every game I've gone to, I soak in the atmosphere. I soak in the minute I check into the press box, and I get the overall, the view of the bridge and I like the beautiful thing. And then like especially game one of the playoffs? Like you got the atmosphere. The place was rocking. I mean, all those intangibles were going, and I just loved it. I love breathing in the atmosphere of Union soccer. So let me get through a couple of these quick comments. And
Sebastian,
Sebastian, yeah,
it was well dragon.
Very important. He just woke up from a coma.
So my man Joey Woods checking in. With a little soccer knowledge. Joey covers the Steel Steps, our pro wrestling pod. He's right now currently in North Carolina covering WrestleCade. So,
I heard about that. Nice, Joey.
So he's down there for us. So again, he might be joining us on their Survivor Series podcast a little later on tonight. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad, like again, Joey getting a little, getting involved with some soccer. Oh God! Why did I even push the click? Why even click this? Plus 100 on the Union with Pat, and they may cover 5 cups of coffee. Oh God! What expensive hell you order?
Yeah, man, I don't understand.
And then
drink that stuff.
Yeah, well, you should have just seen the picture. He just sent me of big giant coffee.
I don't want to. See the pictures.
No. So again, like I said, the Philadelphia Union is going to be really, really fun tonight. I'm still not feeling it, but
I am. Like I said, I'm good. Going back though, just real quick, the closest I've gotten to a South because I've obviously been to game down there is crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
With the stadium all singing in unison and you can feel it shaking. Like the closest I've ever gotten to that here was a whiteout Penn State game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
So,
impressive. That is the only, and it wasn't there, but it was close.
Have you seen Peru here in the States?
Yeah, we went to DC when they actually went against the US, but it was just a friendly. It wasn't actual. But I'm all of my money's gone between Copa America and World Cup the next couple.
Dude, you don't understand how excited I am for next year, man. I am traveling for Colombia, but Colombia, they every now and then they do friendlies in Red Bull Arena.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive atmosphere because I've seen them play Costa Rica, Ecuador, and we just played Guatemala last year.
Mm-hmm.
Great atmospheres. I did feel a little shaking when they go Colombia, Colombia, and you got like it was like 20,000 Colombians saying it. Like I've never seen Red Bull Arena more lively in my life.
Well, I don't think you'll see it.
It is awesome, man.
So. Yes,
dude, Roberto.
Yes, he does.
No, that is not a lie.
No, he does.
He's got
a phenomenal grill.
Take it easy.
He goes. I mean, of the 3 championships last year, the Union was hurts the most.
Yeah, man.
How far it went. Eagles were a distant second, followed by the Phillies. I saw having opened up my box with the Eastern Conference Championship gear. I wouldn't. I won't win until they win the cup.
It's funny because he's saying that like if you would have asked me, in 2012, 9 years from now or 10 years from now, Gareth Bale is going to ruin your life. How? Why?
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
I've followed Real Madrid since I was 6 years old also, right? So I love Gareth Bale up until that point.
Dude, I've watched Gareth Bale since the Spurs, man. I never understood like he would ever come to this league to ruin my life like this.
If you would have told me that he was going to be the winning goal against the Union, I would have laughed in your face.
But the thing is that we had a lot of Philadelphians who started getting into soccer and didn't understand who Gareth Bale was. When we saw that, we're like, wow, we just got bailed. But like people are like, how do you let that happen? It's like, no, dude, he does this.
Yes.
Go back and look what he's done before. This is
Go
what
look at Champions League finals, man. This is what he does.
And the worst part is that he did nothing else.
Literally
nothing else the rest of the year. He just did that. And that's what you paid for.
And look at Elliott's game that game. Dude, Elliott had an amazing game.
He had a goal. Really?
He had a goal. I think he had 2 goals. I have to look back at it, man, but it just one play. All it took.
Dude, I saw it when it was happening because I saw the ball like go up. And I forget who actually made the pass. But I saw Glesnes kind of like break off, and I was like, no, because I saw it. I'm like, because I know that Elliott is tall, but I also know Gareth Bale, so I was like, oh no, please. So he broke off, and I see Elliott 1-on-1, and I was like, oh my god, so you cannot leave Gareth Bale in the box in a single coverage when a ball's coming. You can't. It happened. Ball went in, and I saw grown men like on the floor just. Nah!
I was in shock, man.
Yeah, Jose, before we wrap up here, I want to give you I got to get your thoughts. Me, Gus, Austin, we do this. We go around the league. So let me ask you. Let's start out today, 5:30, Eastern Conference. Columbus Crew or Orlando City? Who do you have?
I'm going Crew.
Orlando's Crew.
Orlando's been solid this year. I think Columbus is that team right now as well. I think it's going to be Columbus in that Eastern Conference Final. It's going to be warm, and I think you talk about difference maker in the playoffs. Escucho Hernandez. It's his time, man. Obviously, it's a little biased too, but yeah,
well, I'm gonna go biased too because I gotta go with my man El Pulpo Galese.
Yeah, man.
I gotta go Orlando, man. That's my man.
You're going Orlando.
Yeah, man. My man. Yo, listen, he's one of the best goalies we've had.
All right. Let's go to Houston. The only team violation on the MLS. The only game that's going to be on FS1. Houston taking on Sporting Kansas City. Who do you got?
That's going to be a lot of fun, man.
That's going to be a game.
Wow. You got a coin? No, I'm gonna go. I'm going on a limb. I'm gonna go KC. Peter Vermees, legendary MLS manager. I'm saying it now. South Jersey's own as well. But I think SKC, they're healthy finally. And I think with that playoff experience that they have, I like them. I like them in this one. It's gonna be similar to this one we just talked about Union and Cincy. I think both of those teams are pretty close as far as talent wise and on paper. It's gonna come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. I give me SKC in that one.
Yeah,
KC.
I'm leaning. It's very close. It's very close. But I'm leaning KC myself. I think
it was impressive beating St. Louis.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I mean, top of the how long were they sitting in the Western Conference for?
Well, so the thing with St. Louis is they were a little bit fraudulent. I mean, they banked on banked on their good start in the early part of the season. Also banked on the fact that the Western Conference wasn't that great either, and SKC exploited it. But it was still a really good team. But you give them kudos, man. I like SKC going on a little bit of a run. I don't know if they'll go to the final, but. Going a little run here.
Okay, and tomorrow night the big heavyweight matchup: Seattle take on LAFC.
Dude, you guys watch Thursday Night Football? Those soccer lines were on there.
Yes, they were.
I'm going Seattle. I think LAFC had their fun last year.
Yeah, I have to go Seattle myself. There's something about Seattle in the playoffs, dude, that it's different. Like they play well enough to get in, but then when they're in the playoffs,
it does also feel like it's their last dance as well with some of their guys. Lodero, Uruguayo, he is gone. He's going to be going after this year. They're not bringing him back.
La Pulga, we have Raúl Ruiz.
Yeah, Ruiz as well.
Yeah. He's so I gotta go Seattle, even though he only scores when he plays for Seattle and never scores for Peru. So
yes. So let me get into some of these great sponsors of we're mentioning all the games and first of all, hold on. Ian says Union. His prediction is Union versus Columbus and Sporting Kansas City versus Seattle.
Ian, I see.
You know what I mean? So that's his prediction.
Yeah.
So again, we mentioned about all the great things here. So. Getting into some of the great sponsors here. And speaking of, you guys can definitely, if you guys need to get on a trip, this is the best way to do it. Our guys at Philly Sports Trips, always hooking it up. Guys, go hit them up today. Philly Sports Trips, talk to my man Vince, great guy. You see Jamie, the sports guy, with him. You're seeing all the great people with him. Now you see Natalie Aganoff over there. Guys, go hit them up. Look, December 15th. I know it's pretty much around the corner. Guys, go out to one of their trips. They're always hooking up. And guys, it's Philadelphia Union. So if the Union win today, I guarantee you, I want Orlando to win. Only the fact that because Philly Sports will book a trip to Orlando. I want to hang out in Orlando, much rather than in Columbus. So, so again, guys, go hook up with Philly Sports Trips. They always got you covered. You know, all the great things they got going over there, guys. And speaking of, if you guys run in any kind of trouble, hit up my man David Archeri, Esquire, workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal law. Hit up my man David Archeri, Esquire today, 610-565-0300. He's the guy that takes care of all your problems. And guys, and again, you guys are looking to go, maybe you guys want to go on the road, whatever. It's not just, you know, sporting events, concerts, theaters. Hit up shareticketstown.com. Save yourself 10% off. By using promo code EOP10, you know, family operating owned since 1946. And of course, guys, you guys are looking for a spot to hang out tonight. Maybe you guys want to get away. Maybe you guys want to hang down. Go to Philly's, you know, go to Dolan's Bar, East 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park, 90278 is the zip code. Go down there, hang out at Dolan's Bar. You don't know what Philadelphia legend come walking in again. This is the spot.
People coming.
Yeah, they got some people go down there. Mickey Mordini is like a world-known name that hangs down there. Guys, go down there tonight. Go watch the Union. Go Union. Guys, one more. Our guy, JP in the house. Guys, give him a follow today. Give PHLY Philadelphia a follow. Guys, if you haven't been seen by PHLY, they are the hottest thing on the move right now. And again, just seeing Fletcher Cox over there. They got the bro. They got my man Tyler Zuli. They got they got great people to cover everything over there. My man Eric Emile, Renee Washington's over there, and of course our man JP. They always break down Union content. So guys, give them a follow, please. Give those guys a follow. And, hit that subscribe button for PHLY Philly. All right. So, guys, final thoughts before we roll out of here about this big matchup. Final prediction.
Prediction is Union win, and I'm going to say 2-1. But what I want is I want every single fan to be on the same train of thought that I am. Just get confident, because I'm telling you right now, we're going to come out foot in the throat, and we're going to keep it there into the game's up.
That seems to be the popular scoreline, because that's what me and Renee had on our show.
Really?
We both had 2-1. I think that, like I said, those first 15 are going to be so important. I think the Union will take advantage of it. I see a goal happening in those first 15. Maybe Gazdak gets that goal, flexes, has does a little shh to the crowd a little bit, But I think that the Union will get another one before half. I think Cincinnati will get one early in the second, and then guys, we're gonna be biting our nails tonight. I do think we're gonna be so nervous. I don't know what you do.
Used to it by now.
Yeah.
Though,
I don't know what you guys do for your nerves, but get it tonight, because I think you're gonna be quenching the booty hole for 10, 20 minutes.
Gonna be tight.
Yeah. Just some cheeks there.
Yeah. But if I can, real quick, I want to thank you guys for having me on here. I love seeing Union content in Philadelphia, so I really do appreciate and even thinking about me. So seriously, thank you so much, and let's go Union, guys. Get excited. Positive train.
Thanks for coming, man. We had a great time today.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can have you back soon, man.
We'll chop it. Maybe for Copa America, we'll chop it off.
Yeah,
we'll chop it up first. South American soccer.
Love talking some international.
Anytime I can shit on Brazil too.
Wow, a lot of people feeling Union.
Let's
JP
go.
Union, guys. I don't know what you guys are doing, but 3-1.
That's right.
Eric going a little in depth here. 3-1 early goal by Galanda. Thank God. To seal the deal. I'm actually feeling a 3-1, but the opposite way. I'm sorry to be the poop on the eggs. I'm trying. I'm trying to
go get your coffee, bro.
I'm trying to, but if I'm going to be realistic.
If we win tonight, you are drinking that coffee black, my friend.
Yes, I will make an Instagram
live.
Yes, I'll be live drinking black coffee.
Go live and drink that black coffee.
I can't overlook the Acosta factor. Again,
Well, nobody says it's going to be easy.
He's just too explosive. With the pieces around him.
Are you forgetting who we have on goal?
I know, and it's a whole different beast. I get that, but there's something about him. He's going to have a night.
It's going to be tough. I know where you're coming from, but I don't know. There's something about the atmosphere, like the factors. They're screaming Union to me.
Yeah,
because when it comes to the playoff time, I'm the one that gets the dog. I'm the one that needs to hide underneath the blanket. Whatever. This is scary for me. But look, if the Union could get past Cincy, I think they win the whole thing. That's just me.
Yeah,
it's the best team.
You're gonna be looking at the Eastern Conference representative tonight in this matchup. I think.
Wow,
sure.
I like it.
Philly or Cincy, man.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's going to be a tough road. I mean, the Union are going to have to become road warriors now from here on out.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they've never done this either, man. Like, it's always been a lot of like home matches when they've gone on runs, but no, this is the opposite, and I do enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So definitely. So guys, thank you for checking out the show again, guys. Before we roll, one more time, JP in the house, PHLY Zone. Give him a follow on Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff, guys. Hit him up for all your Union contact. Go to PHLY, subscribe, and give him a follow. Right here, we appreciate him being in here. It's a blessing because real fast, me and Gus and Austin, we start this pod on our phones for 15 minutes, and look where it's at now. Going from here to having a pod to now, we're covering the team, and to meet guys like JP. I don't want to say his name, but Jose, JD Walker, the whole box, Skylar, the whole box is usually in here and always helping out. And I appreciate it. Guys like Mike Parabra, who does a great job. I just want to say thank you to all you guys. You guys do it. Everyone.
It's always fun to talk soccer with somebody that has the same passion as I do.
Yeah.
So that part's always great.
It's a blessing, man.
Definitely. And I want to appreciate guys like Eric and Ian always chiming into the show, talking Union soccer as well. So, guys, before we roll, I want to say thank you so much. Again, thanks to my man JP for being in the house with us, taking this time out of a busy Saturday. Guys, go Union. Let's go.
Dude.